Good evening, folks, and welcome to the virtual comedy studio. If you look behind you, you're going to see your own room, and it could really use a cleaning, Kathe Farris. Please give it for your host for tonight's program. Your host for tonight's program, who has a much wider lens. You can see her whole room. Give it up for Kathe Farris.
I'm really glad we bonded right before the show, and then you just sold me out.
Hey, you gave me the idea.
I have my kid's gaming camera right now, okay?
Wow, he just used your own.
On Sundays. But this, I'm a professional. I'm still going to do this. I feel like you can even see the hairs on. God damn. Okay. Thank you for coming to Farris and Friends. We are a show. We're here every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, Comedy Studio. Thanks for being here. We're just going to get right into this. I will tell you that one of the great things about having your own show is that people will message you questions, or you can pretend that people are messaging you questions because you have something you want to talk about and you don't know how to fit it into another conversation. So that's the great thing about having a show. So people have been messaging me about the holidays. They're stressing out. They're asking, Kath, like, what do you do about people you don't want to buy gifts for? And that is just the age old question, isn't it? Right? It is. And I have a segment that I'd like to start trying now. I have no music for it. I'm not an improver. I've done a little bit of interpretive dance, some Zumba, but not very well. So we're just going to go right into the segment, which I like to call Easy Gifts for Hard to Take People. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So if you're one of the fake people that messaged me about this, I have answers for you. So if you are looking for a gift for somebody who has everything to do with all your anxiety, these are some things for you. My number one choice is called the Dehydrator Bible. That's right. And the reason I'm telling it right now is that it's on sale. It's normally $17, but right now you can get it for $14, and it's over 400 recipes of with things like jerky, fruit leather, and water add meals. I mean, I can't think of another way to say I don't care for you, Carol, more than buying the Dehydrator Bible. Yeah, but what if I have to buy for her husband? No problem. They actually have the Dehydrator Bible for outdoor adventures. A little bit more pricey, but two for one, you get those gifts checked off. Okay.
I, I cannot let this go without asking a question. I'm so thrown off by this. People have dehydrators, and I have a friend that makes the most wonderful jerky out of his.
Well, I'm so glad that you could stamp all over my segment with your friend's jerky.
Well, I feel like I feel like that's like making fun of somebody who uses a crock pot.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to skip number two. Let's go on to number three. But what if they have stepkids, Kathy? No problem. There's what they call the birth month candle. And what it is, it's a scent inspired by their astronomy map and their numerology and their pap smear. And it is gross, okay? But what if they're twins? Well, then you're just going to have to rank them. And that's how that's going. I'm going to be here all month giving more tips and ideas. These are legitimate things. These
Is
are,
that's real? A birth month, and then it gives the smell of your pap smear?
for God's sakes, Ellen, this is a comedy show. Sometimes you exaggerate a little bit, okay? Why are you stepping on this whole segment? Why?
Well, I thought you were giving really good ideas for gifts, and I got all excited. Or I thought maybe these were gifts that I was going to be getting, and so I really wanted to be prepared.
Well, I
And
guess I can't use this tape for JFL, so let's just keep going. I think this is a really good time for us to start the show. What do you guys think?
I just wanted to let you know that while you guys were arguing, I'm sharing the event in a bunch of places, so I didn't know if I should put that in the description.
yes.
Yes.
Well, why don't you mention Kathy's gift ideas? You know?
Yeah, why don't you, Ellen? I think they're excellent ideas. In fact,
Well, they're not bad ideas. One time, Kathy, for may I share with you what Kathy gave me for my 50th birthday? She gave me an empty baggie so I could put my gum in it, and then she also gave me a bottle of Newman's salad dressing.
right. For two reasons, Ellen. One, you always brag about how you you donate to charity when really what you do is you buy salad dressing. And two, you buy gum in bulk. Right. Show them that. You know what this looks like? Homemade cocaine chutney. Okay. This does not look like gum. You're not like you're like offering people gum here, Ellen. Okay.
Well, during COVID, I will not use that to offer people gum.
First of all, you shouldn't be using that anyway. I mean,
Gum
that's
is
like,
how I make my
hey,
friends.
do you want some gum or do you want some Hep C? I don't know. There you go. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. Ellen and I are still here. We're still friends. We can still keep going. I'm excited about this show. As many of you know, thank you for coming back. The great thing about this show is how, just like, I mean, no one's called me a Mother Teresa of comedy except me. But I think it's going to catch on. Here's the thing. I have had this show for over a year now. Actually, yeah, over a year now. And the way we put the show together was we have new comics and seasoned comics on together. And I think that's super important because when you're doing comedy, it's so hard to get stage time. And when you're doing comedy, if you can get on the stage with people who are hilarious and talented and inspiring, you perform up to that. And in fact, what I usually see is that when we have new people on our show, new comics, they bring this special energy to a show that some of us who have been doing this for some time, not on this lineup, but on some other lineups, come in tormented. And it brings the vibe down. But new comics, they don't do that. They come in like with family support and I don't know, motivation. That's my speech about that. I'm really distracted by the lint on my sweater, and I apologize, you guys. I didn't realize I'd be using this camera. Come back next week. I'll have a lint brush. Let's get this thing started. So this this comic, I had the privilege of meeting through the pandemic. We do comedy classes here at the comedy studio, and he took this class. And right after he finished the class, I said, "Please come on to my show. We have to have you on." And I can't wait to introduce him to all of you. Please put your hands together for Patrick Rills.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. So I moved to Boston from Louisiana, and sometimes I miss it. And you might be asking, like, why? Isn't Louisiana last in everything? It's like, no. We're 49th. Thank you very much, Mississippi. Everyone wants to know what's different, and that's hard to answer because literally everything is different. Like, even the hot dog buns are different. I had only ever seen hot dog buns sliced on the side, but in New England, they sliced them across the top. Why did they do this? Because fuck you, that's why. And like all food in New England compared to the South, it's worse. Now, granted, Boston doesn't have the obesity problem Louisiana has, but that's due to no other factor other than it's really easy to pass up food here. Another helping of steamed clams and organic greens? Nah, I'm good. Boston's famous for clam chowder, an appetizer. You can't be famous for an appetizer. I don't even think Australia claims the bloomin' onion. In Louisiana, we made the soup the main course and called it gumbo because, as my Uncle Earl says, anything could be an entree if you shove enough wildlife into it. The biggest difference is the people. Southerners think that Northerners are mean, but they're not mean. They're just efficient. They want to just go through life with the least amount of human contact possible. And it's not personal. They're just busy. They just have some place to be. They'd sooner walk into a lamppost than make eye contact with you. It's fine. Like, you go into a 7-Eleven in Boston and you're lucky if the cashier even looks at you because he's on his phone. Okay, he's busy, he's on his phone. So he'll just reach for the register keys with his fingers. If I wanted to hold the place up, I'd have to text him. You know, I have gun emoji, money face and tongue emoji, send. On the other hand, checking out at the grocery store in the South is a whole fucking thing. It starts off with like a friendly exchange of pleasantries, but then it evolves into a job interview. Like, who are you? Where are you from? Where did you go to school? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? They'll comment on the items you're buying, like, ooh, this looks interesting, or have you tried this in chocolate? Or last time I had this, I threw up for 2 hours. By the time you pay, your Facebook friends and you're invited to her niece's christening on Sunday. But there is a situation and where Bostonians will speak to you, and that's when there's a fucking problem. So I saw this guy in Boston almost get hit by a car, and he turned around to the driver and screamed, "Fuck you, asshole," and started pounding on his hood. But then in an instant, it was over, and he was gone like Batman. Because again, he had some place to be. And this wasn't some street ruffian. This was a guy in a suit and tie. He was probably the president of Harvard, for all I know. And if that were to happen in Louisiana, the person would probably just say, "Oh, that's okay. We all make mistakes." But then that night, they would passive aggressively pray for that driver to get psoriasis. Nothing too serious, just enough to know Jesus's wrath. But there is one thing the North and South have in common, and that's that they have stereotypes about each other. Northerners think that kids in the South, they show up to Sunday school, they grab a gun from the barrel, and they shoot at targets of Charles Darwin. And everyone in the South thinks that abortion up here is rampant. Like on every street corner, there's an abortion clinic, and it's run by Sweeney Todd, the demon doctor of Fetus Street. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably my Uncle Earl's worst nightmare. A bunch of people flamboyantly performing abortions to choreograph numbers. All right, that's my time. Thanks, everybody.
Woo!
Good job. Patrick, everybody. This is his first show other than the student showcase. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no, that was great. Patty, can we talk about this problem you have with the hot dog buns? It makes perfect sense. They drop the hot dog buns right into the hot dog right into the bun. Then you can put your condiments on it, and then you can twist them. And you're really missing out if you don't think that this is the right way to do it. If not, it squeezes out. It's a mess. Yeah, just letting everyone know that. I'm all for the drop in.
She's just telling you what she wants to say. And it's probably the gum talking, the bacterial ridden gum. Thank you so much for being on the show, Patrick. I really appreciate it. Our next person coming up, again, this is officially her first show after her student showcase. But for the last 4 years, Ellen and I have been trying to talk her into doing stand up, and I'm going to give Ellen the honor of introducing her.
Not only this, she is a extremely important member of the Comedy Studio family. So let's not, I don't want to leave that out either, but so funny. I've seen this girl perform a handful of times, and I just think she's one of the most naturally funny people I've ever met. And her talent goes beyond. She's out of Maryland now, but she used to be a Boston girl and a New York girl. So put your hands together for the very funny, the very lovely Rosa LaFarsosa.
Woo!
Thank you, Ellen and Kathy. Oh my gosh, what a pleasure it is to be here, beaming into your device. My name is Rosa, and I am a doctor, but not the hero kind. I'm a researcher at the NIH, which I learned this year means absolutely nothing in a Facebook flame war. That said, I am not the most financially successful child in my family. Last Christmas, I watched my brother put out a bonfire with a bottle of Perrier. But hey, he got COVID and I didn't. So he's fine. He's totally recovered. I don't know if he can smell everything, but he's fine. Christmas, right. I won't be doing Christmas with my family this year, but it's okay because I can rest easy knowing that my parents are safe. They escaped this shit show country back in March. They retired to a remote seaside villa in Portugal. And every morning I Zoom them to mutually commiserate about the pandemic. It's a little annoying though, because their biggest gripe is that they can't attend the weekly rave that used to happen in their town. Like there was a day back in April when I was still disinfecting my groceries. Y'all remember that phase of the pandemic when you were more worried about the COVID coating your anxiety snacks than the calories? Yeah, so I was in my kitchen, drenched in sweat and Lysol, praying that my Instacart shopper hadn't substituted my toilet paper with kitty litter. And my father FaceTimes me poolside wearing like a crisp white bathrobe to lament that he had nobody to share his magic mushrooms with. Now, all I hope is that they remember who secured them those N95 masks for their exodus when they're deciding who gets the villa in the will. It was me, you guys. Not my brother who got COVID. No, it's a tough time, right? Is anybody out there suffering from Zoom fatigue? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's Zoom fatigue. I think it's the day drinking. Like, I see you with your coffee mug, but I get it. Times are tough. It's a lot. I was at the airport a couple months ago, essential travel, and I saw a woman pull her mask down to apply lipstick. So we're all struggling. Now, my partner and I, we did hit that stage of the pandemic where you adopt a new pet. We got a cat, a rescue cat, and we chose her because we saw a lot of ourselves in her. You see, she suffers from anxiety and depression. There is one difference, though. She is medicated. She gets cat Prozac. But now she's our cat Prozac. Win-win. Unfortunately, she is terrified of hands. And when we first got her, we were told that we should pet her with like a back scratcher. But all we had was this riding crop that I found buried inside the couch that my parents left behind when they fled the country. Yeah. So that's right, folks. I stroke my pussy with my parents' sex toy. All right, what else? Oh, hemorrhoids. This sedentary pandemic lifestyle has not been kind to my rectum. I don't know if you guys suffer from hemorrhoids, but it's been a problem for me for a little while. When I discovered my very first hemorrhoid, I was convinced I had butt cancer. And that's because I asked the internet. You could stub your toe, and if you asked the internet, it would say that you have toe cancer. Although maybe today, COVID, I don't know. I did. So the first thing after Google is I thought, I should photograph it so I can do a proper Google reverse image search. Now, I don't know if you ever tried to spread your butt cheeks and take a selfie, but it is harder than you think. However hard you are imagining, I promise you, it is harder. At the end of my photo shoot, I did remember that I had loaned my iPad to my niece and nephew, and those photos had gone straight to the cloud and shared to all of my devices. But I did not have time to worry about that. It was late, and I needed answers. So I changed my Tinder bio to seeking doctor type for butt play. Resourceful. I'm a millennial, you guys. Thank you so much, Kathe, for having me. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you live in Georgia and you're tuning in, please go out and vote. Let's take the Senate. Have a great night.
Woo!
Also, can somebody do a wellness check on Lois's nephew and niece?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think a lot of stuff went to that iPad. I really do. But I think closing on hemorrhoids, bold choice.
Bold.
It paid off.
I love it. Is that the cat? I will say that Rosa has one of the greatest cats.
Mm.
But you're talking about your new cat. You're not talking about the pod cat, right?
I am. My new cat looks just like my old cat. She's gearing up to be the replacement. So I don't know if the
Oh,
old
like that
cat
movie
knows
Baby.
that, but
I can't wait until you guys have kids. You don't get a replacement like that early.
She sounds very maternal.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Thank you, Rosa. Okay, let's keep going. That's what I like about Ferris and Friends. I don't think any of these comedians believe that we were very casual on this show. And that like 10 minutes in, it becomes a shit show. And that's what happened. And we said it. You guys just didn't believe us. Okay, our next comedian coming to your screen. I'm excited. What I love about the pandemic is, well, there's not like a lot I love about the pandemic. I mean, people have suffered, and I do feel bad about that. And like, because I say this because my sister Kara is probably watching, and Kara, right before the pandemic happened, she was on her last tray of Invisalign, and she was super excited to start showing off her new dental work, and then that hasn't been able to happen. So, I mean, I get it. People are suffering here. So I just want to say that.
What a waste. What a waste of an Invisalign. You know? I mean, seriously.
I didn't want to bring it down. I feel like I just ate your gum or something.
Well, I mean, it's almost about as big of a waste as that person who had to drop their mask to put on their lipstick and then put the mask back on once it was on.
I'm making a joke being that like this is a really tough time and like humor does
No, I'm not. I'm serious.
humor does help. Okay, I feel like you and I are digging a ditch here, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, well, kind of.
No, it isn't. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Thank God we have very talented comedians who are on the show tonight as well.
Pull us out, Kath.
Who will pull us out. Talking about this next comedian, she comes all the way from Austin, Texas. Put your hands together for Carson Quinn, everybody.
Woo! Guys, happy fucking holidays. This week is Hanukkah, and yes, my last name is Quinn, right? I'm Carson Quinn. I married an Irish guy, but I'm Jewish. So basically, our love language is corned beef. I am a mom of two. So that means I have been, as they say, with child twice. Although I hate that phrase because it's very biblical. It's very Mary and Joseph. I'm Jewish. But I can tell you who is with child: kidnappers and priests. Before kids, I might say the word shit when like shit happens, okay? But I barely even touch the poop emoji, okay? But now I'm like, did you go poop? Do you want to sit on the potty and go poop? Is there poop in your diaper? I mean, I'm like in Meet the Parents, you know, Ben Stiller's on the plane ranting about his suitcase. That's me with poop, right? I'm like, poop, 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 poop. Okay. So I recently had a blowout, the hair one, not poop one, actually. Parents, feel me, right? Moms, you got me, right? I got you. Okay, so no, a blowout, for those that don't know, is where you go to an overpriced special hair salon where they do not cut your hair, they do not color your hair, they just blow dry you. And I know you're thinking there's an innuendo joke here. There's not. Maybe there's like one Fabio looking guy at the salon there, but ultimately it's like all women there. And I do not care how butchy, lesbian, or just plain vanilla yogurt feminist you are. Every woman in this salon has got this look on her face like, I'm going to look so good for my man tonight. And you know, the minute he goes in for a kiss, she's like, don't touch my hair. Don't touch my hair. It's like $45 for hair not to be touched after it was just touched up. So, yes, I know that coronavirus and hair dryers aren't exactly friends these days. Okay, so, but I was there without any children near me? Like sometimes when I'm about to give my toddler a timeout, I just say, you know what? Mommy's going to go sit in the corner and think about what you've done and have a mommy temple. But so I got this blowout, right? Not for my man. See, I am the plain vanilla yogurt feminist. I got the blowout for family photos. Because, see, I honestly want my hair to look perfectly fake to show everyone that we are fakely perfect. I'm honest about it. Okay, yeah. Family photos are like the snapshot of life, right? You hire a photographer for an insane amount of money. You have them follow you around a municipal park that you've never been to while you're open mouth laughing, while you're internalizing how much the clothes cost and whether that blue shirt really went with the jeans or the green shirt with the polo, or, you know, the corner shot of the sleeve is going to come out right. Okay. And, you know, you're wondering if your kids are going to look like Charlotte's Web, right? Because they're all in overalls sometimes and they're running around in high heels and you're swinging your kid around. You're wondering if their shoulder's going to pop out. And then there's like a homeless guy over there and you're like, okay, you're going to Photoshop that out. Right. I mean, it is honestly the most stressful thing for a card that gets taped up to a wall with 30 other cards of families pretending they're not stressed out too. You got to look fakely perfect. When all those holiday cards come in, let's give grace. Holiday season, because behind every card really is this look of happy fucking holidays. All right. So you know this machine learning world, right? AI, artificial intelligence. It sucks. It's terrible. I call it ASS. Artificial stupid system. Okay. We were owning Disney Plus. We were owning Disney movies, right? For $40 a movie, right? AT&T was charging this, and all of a sudden, Ass was like, "Hey, do you want to buy this movie again?" And I'm like, "No, we sold our souls and our house, and we got T-shirts, and I got, you know, Crocs with gibbets, and I call them giblets. Happy Thanksgiving." So we signed up for Disney Plus. It's $7 a month. It's for every Disney movie you could want. And we set up an account. We are ready to save money. And we feel like we're going to get free Hamilton tickets. And our TV is not equipped to carry Disney Plus. So we save money by going to buy a new TV. And now we watch Frozen all the time. All the time, because we have to get our money's worth. Frozen. Let me tell you something. At the end of Frozen 1, it comes up, it says, "Would you like to watch Frozen 2? Yeah. And before you can say anything, the little voice next to you says, "Yes." So you're watching Frozen 1, and then Frozen 2, and then Frozen 1, and then Frozen 2, and Frozen 1. And this is what happens. I carry my kid upstairs, toss her in the bed, and right before I close the door, I say, "You want Frozen, kid? I'll give you Frozen." And I turn her room only up to a balmy 32 degrees. Call the authorities. I'm just going to tell them Ass made me do it. Anyway, that's my time. I'm Carson Quinn. Follow me on Instagram. I have like 5 followers, so you can be number 6.
Woo!
It's Carson with Child.
Woo! Thank you, Carson. Thank you. You know, I never thought of it because I suffer from, I have a lifelong struggle with being interesting and unphotogenic, and so does my family. So we haven't sent out a holiday card since 2002, and now I'm actually okay with that.
You mean like any holiday cards or just one of those ones with the stories on them?
Oh, you mean like a letter?
Yeah.
No, I don't send out letters, but I like getting other people's and then I fact check them. I'm gonna be up at like midnight Googling this shit. I honestly don't think.
I don't think Billy was the star of his class last year.
Exactly. Well, they're claiming now that he made the JV soccer. I've seen.
Oh, right.
I just dispute this. Anyway, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Let's just keep going. It is a festive time this season. Okay, so let's just keep going. Thank you, Carson. What's great about the show is that we can get people from all over to be a part of it. And our next comedian is from Chicago, and we love her, and she's been on some of our other shows here at the Comedy Studio. I'll put it together for Jennifer Livingston. Woo! What am I saying that, Jennifer? Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. So, I actually have a lot in common with Patrick. He gave the Southern perspective, and so I'm going to be giving the Midwestern perspective. And so, I moved back to the Midwest this year during the summer, which is an awesome idea. Is to make a half cross country move during a pandemic. I know, great idea. Um, so I lived in Boston for about 10 years, and it kind of rubbed off on me a little bit, and kind of adopted some of the things there. And so now that I'm back in the Midwest, I'm kind of comparing cultures again. Um, for example, if a Midwesterner is going to tell you no, they're likely to say, well, I'm not really sure about that, but I don't think that's a good idea. Whereas a Bostonian is a lot more direct and just going to say, fact, no. And I really can't say that well. I'm just a little bit too Midwestern. I moved back. It's probably a good thing. After moving back here, I'm starting to get used to the driving here. It's not coming really quickly. Actually, people are very, very slow here, and I'm very, very road ragey. Like, go, damn it! Just sitting in traffic, and I've used the horn here, and it's been very interesting. So, you use the horn in Boston, you honk at somebody. It's just like the way things go there. You honk at somebody, they give you the finger, they honk back. It's just communication. If you honk at somebody here in the Midwest, you have fundamentally altered their day. They are basically going to wonder why they are such a drain on society, why their life is so horrible, and they're going to drive their car directly into a lake. That's just what Midwesterners do if you get honked at. So, funny enough, I actually learned how to merge in Boston. So I have a funny story with that. I was on Storrow Drive, and for those of you that aren't familiar with Boston, Storrow Drive is a hellacious, insane asshole road, which is basically every other road in Boston. But Storrow's really, really extra assholey. So I was driving a friend north home after work, and I was in the wrong lane, which is basically what you do on Storrow Drive, is that you get in the wrong lane. And it was bumper to bumper traffic. He was like, yeah, you're going to need to merge over to the other lane. And I looked at him, I'm like, there's no room over there. I can't merge over there. And he was like, oh, yeah, you're just going to have to merge. And then I said, well, I don't think I can. And then I heard him mumble something about some freaking 3-hour commute if we couldn't merge. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm Midwestern. I don't drive like you do. And then he's like, okay, well, you got to merge. And so he got increasingly irritated with me. And I said, all right. Confession time. I have to admit, I go a lot of places in Boston I don't want to go because I'm too scared to merge. And so, he encouraged me to merge, and so I eventually merged. It was very stressful, and so we drove north to Melrose. I dropped him off. I found the nearest body of water and drove my car right into it. So, yeah, I was walking around here. I live in Chicago, and it is very Midwestern, even though it is a big city. And so people are very Midwestern, even in Chicago. And how do I say this? I trusted a fart. Yeah, I mean, I'm Midwestern. I trust things that shouldn't be a surprise. So I was out and about and too far away from home. So I went into a Target, bought a pair of pants, figured I could just kind of change in the restroom. I went to the cashier, and the cashier was nice. She was really friendly. Started talking about the weather, asked me how I was doing, and my Bostonian side came out like a raging maniac. And I said, dude, I just shit my pants. Could you just give me my pants and my card, and I need to go? So then he said, oop, I'm sorry, like a Midwesterner would do. And so then I felt really awful about showing my Bostonian side. So I did the best thing I could do, and I got the fack out of there. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. You know, it's so true. Like last Thursday, I honked at a couple because they were holding hands because I felt bad about my own marriage.
Oh, that's funny, yeah. That was funny. I like
But
that.
I wish it wasn't true. I wish my daughter wasn't in the car. There's a lot of things. Everyone's going through their own thing right now. I do want to say thank you all for coming. We have our watch parties going. I've got like 8 people at my watch party. I don't want to like brag or anything, but I've got like 8 people watching and holding on. And they've been here the whole time, so thank you. We are Farris and Friends. We're at the Comedy Studio. We do shows every night of the week except for Mondays because we have a line. We do classes as well, and our classes are starting back up in January 3rd. We've got our Stand Up 101 and our Stand Up Workrooms. So whether you've never tried it before, try 101. Or if you've been doing it and you just want to kick it up a notch, try one of our workrooms or some private coaching. And that is my pitch. Yay! I teach classes. Rick Jenkins teach classes. In fact, we teach them together, so you get 2 for the price of 1.
Wow, that's like Shark Tank, like 2 sharks.
Right, and sometimes we fight, and that's actually great. I mean, I think students really like it.
Oh my God, can we just watch? Can we just come and watch?
Well, we don't fight. It's an intellectual debate or a debate. It's a conversation. Anyway.
You and Rick Jenkins having an intellectual debate is funny.
I just confided in all of you that I haunted a couple because I was intimidated by their love. So there's where we're at with all of this. This is who you're getting. So we're the Comedy Studio, comedystudio.com. Please check us out. Okay, our last
Thursday night too, Kathe, want to say Thursday night is my show, and I have one of the most killer lineups I've had in a long time.
Ellen, the show's not even over yet. I was just gonna bring up our next person, and then we could close it out with that. But if that's what we need to do right now,
I thought everybody was closing it out with butt stuff.
No. Go ahead.
So Thursday night is Wicked Good Comedy, and I have my show and here in Los Angeles. And the thing with it is that
you're in San Diego.
Oh fuck! But my point is that I have a comic.
This is the gum, everybody. Go.
I'm in San Diego.
There. Do you have an urgent care? Can you just go get checked out?
But here's the thing. I have a comic from Los Angeles coming, and she is fantastic. And I'm not supposed to say it, but she has a couple of TV credits. So yeah. So
okay, like that's like coming to somebody else's party. I mean, like my party's on Thursday and it's gonna be better. This party's been great. This has been a great party. I don't know why you're doing this to us, Ellen.
No, this has been a great show. I have to tell you, Kathe, this show, these comics are fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how I book them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you do a damn good job too, my friend.
Pretty good teacher, okay? So
yeah.
Anyway.
God, it's so frustrating.
Thanks for coming to Farris and Friends, you guys. Our last comedian, who is probably like, why did I agree to come on to this show? We are so grateful that he has. He's hilarious. He's taken our classes. He's been hustling since the pandemic. He's somebody to watch. Put your hands together for Michael Babner.
Woo! Hey, thanks, Kathe. So guys, my least favorite place in the world is Times Square. Like the whole point of Times Square is to be like, hey, you're in one of the greatest food cities in the world. Come eat at Olive Garden. I was walking through Times Square the other day, just hating my life, and a guy came up to me and asked me if I wanted to buy some weed. And my response was just, no thanks, I'm not looking to buy drugs outside the M&M store. At this point, this guy got mad and said, it's gonna bring your hair back, buddy, as a dig at me. You know when someone tries to insult you, but they're like a few insecurities too late? Like, this guy was playing like one-hit wonder insults on me back from like 2015. Like, back then I was so desperate to get my hair back, I would have been like, listen, man, is $20 at least enough to buy a widow's peak? He needed to like update his sales pitch for my like 2020 insecurities. If he like wanted an instant sale, he should have been like, this weed will make you stop thinking you're annoying to everyone you meet. My first car was a hand-me-down 2000 Toyota Sienna that my dad used when I was a kid. It had 8 seats in it, and I had half as many friends in my life to actually fill them. I was very popular. Most of the time I drove around with those 7 empty seats, though, like I was like an aspiring soccer mom just practicing for the part. Like a shitty method actor. And my dad's kind of a slob, so when I got the car, I basically inherited like a moving landfill with like one automatic side door. And the worst part of my first car wasn't the fact that it was a horrible car. It was the fact that my dad just like used it as a storage unit, which made dating like really hard in high school. Like, girls typically aren't excited to fool around surrounded by like 2 boxes of fish bait and a leaf blower, unless you're fucking a trout, in which case the bait's a great aphrodisiac. I'm just kidding, I didn't have a girlfriend. My first car was like a bad episode of Storage Wars, and no matter how much stuff I took out, my dad just kept putting new shit back into the storage unit. Like, I remember rolling up to pick up my date for prom in my man van just to like unbuckle a bag of fertilizer so she would have a place to sit. I probably looked like the most disorganized terrorist, just trying to make like a fertilizer bomb on top of a crate of like Quaker Oats. My dad's tried to become more emotionally available for me as he's gotten older, but I feel like he still doesn't have like the tools to know how to do that. I was on the phone with my dad, and I mentioned that my relationship had become long distance for the time being. And after we hung up, he sent me an email that just said, I'm sorry you can't see your girlfriend as much anymore. As an old rocker once sang, love hurts, parentheses, don't remember who. I like how my dad's form of sympathy is to inform you that there's like a song vaguely similar to your situation. Also, how Googling what song he's talking about is not even part of the package. He's like, I'll take you this far, but then you're on your own. I appreciate the attempt, but I don't really need him giving me songs like a bad Spotify algorithm as like part of our relationship now. Like, I get foreclosed on, he's gonna be like, I'm sorry, as a rap group once said, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. I would love to see my dad be a therapist. He'd just be like, I'm so sorry your dad passed away. Have you tried listening to Green Day? Dookie's a great album for this. I'll just start seeing his music taste change by what lyrical advice he gives me. He'll be like, well, son, I've always lived by one principle, live and let die. And I'd be like, okay, he's on the wings. He's made it to the 70s. His greatest struggle, though, would be giving advice to musicians because he would assume, like, if they wrote the lyric, they must have everything figured out. Be like, I don't understand, Mr. Z. You yourself said you had 99 problems, but a bitch was specifically not one of them. Now you're telling me you have girl problems? My dad's a pretty good sport. I'm pretty private about things, so after, like, a year of doing comedy, I finally said, like, Dad, I've been doing stand-up for a bit now, and sometimes I joke about you on stage. Is that all right? And he was like, yeah, I'm proud of you for doing that. Like, anything you want to say about me, it's fair game. I know it's just jokes. And that was great, mostly because I had already been making fun of him for so long, and it felt really good to know I wouldn't get in trouble for it. Like, thank you, Dad. I'm going to talk so much shit about you for years to come now. That's all I'm going to do for tonight. Thanks, Kathe.
Thank you. I'm going to start doing that too. I actually only own 8 cassettes, so that's going to be difficult. But I just wanted to wrap up with this because I did say that I did get my Kohl's thing today and super excited. Not because of the savings, because the savings sucks. It's only 20%. I get so mad.
There's a $10 off.
Doesn't matter, Ellen. I need a 30. But my point is, I wanted to, I've been talking about this, but I haven't had the prop because I'm becoming a prop comic during the pandemic. Is that I have an idea for how to get the vaccine out there. And I think we should be using our Kohl's flyers because nobody lets this thing go into the recycling or the trash that we pretend to be recycling without figuring out like how much do we get. So you peel that thing off, right? And then you just lick it. Like put the vaccine on here and lick it, and then I'm not going to use this because that's insulting, Coles. I'm not going to do 20%. I'm going to bring this to you and I'm going to demand to talk to your manager to get 30%. And I'm going to pretend to forget that I have my 30% at home. Anyway, I got a whole big backstory. The point is that let's use this as a vaccine because I feel like we're going to get a lot of people going with this one. I don't tell people how to do their job, but
I like it.
I guess I am.
I like it. But I don't know what people like me would do since we don't have a Kohl's around here.
Ellen, I don't even know. You've stepped on every single thing I've done. Like, you don't think that I've worked this stuff out. Yesterday, I was on such a high. I'm like, everything I talked about today, like the Hydrator Bible, this, the birth month candle, like everything was gold. This was comedy gold. And you came in with your vape and your hepatitis C gum and stepped on every single thing that I was working on tonight. Every single thing. Okay. So here's the thing.
You know, I think about it, and you know what? You're right.
No, here's the thing, Ellen. What you have to realize is that I have been in this house since the pandemic started with all three people. I was here by myself. I was an empty nester by myself. And my husband had a 70-hour job. Now everybody's here and he's doing what he's doing, where he's indulging in his new passion of just gaming online with middle schoolers and providing unsolicited advice to me. And my kids are like, this is all I have. And you come in with your thing and that's
no, I know. You know what? And I should be, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's fine. I just want to think that's fine, Ellen. You guys, why don't you check us out on Thursday when we can resolve this? We can get
And I'll tell Kathe where we're going to do our vaccines here in California.
Now, some of you may have thought like, wow, Kathy's really losing it. I am, but I'm also the kind of mother that I know how to just kind of rein it in for a couple of minutes. And that's what I'm doing right now, okay? This is medication working on overtime. You guys, thanks so much for being here at Farris and Friends. And if you want to check Ellen and I out again, we're going to be here on Thursday.
Yep.
10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Pacific Time. We are the Comedy Studio. Please check out everything that we're doing. Tip your comedians. We've been doing this for free. They're talented people. Thank you all for being here. And everybody stay safe. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Pizza's here.